Hi guys, welcome to another video today. I've just finished watching Dexter for the first time, including Dexter New Blood, and I've got to say this is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. Of all time. It's up there with Breaking Bad and Sopranos for me, and Mr. Robot. I'd say it's in my top 5. Talk about a bloody anti-hero. You know, Dexter, what he's doing is illegal and, insane. He's a psychopath. But he's doing it for the greater good. A vigilante. And as the seasons progressed, the stakes were obviously getting bigger. And I fell in love with the characters. My favourite character was Deb. Because she was the light in... She was the light in a very dark show. She brought most of the comic relief and most of the funny parts, and she grounded Dexter. Her season 8 arc devastated me. Sorry, you got the please. It devastated me, her character, because what she went through with the death of La Guetta. It was very lifelike, and her performance, Jennifer Carpenter's performance, was so compelling and well done. It was heartbreaking, and I think her death was shocking to me because, it's Deb. She's been shot multiple times and got back up. To me, I disagree with the way Deb died, personally. And the fact that she was always there for Dexter, hid his secrets and everything, and that's, I guess what sisters do is protect their brother. So I was very devastated about her death, because she was my favourite character. But anyway, let's go season by season. So, season 1, it was the ice truck killer. I think the first season was one of the best. It was still finding itself. I think the first season, from what I heard, is the most loyal to the books. And then it goes off in many different directions, I've heard. Apparently Rita is alive till the end, apparently. Then turns out Dexter has a brother, and that brother engages with Deb. Yeah, she said no to Joey. That was a good season. I honestly thought Deb was going to die in the first season. And then the second season, it was Dokes. Dokes and Dexter. Oh my god, those first 2 seasons were amazing with those two. The way... I remember the bit where Dexter headsbutts him and then walks out. And then, surprise, motherfucker. Oh, dear. Classic. Actually, that was one of the reasons for me watching the show, because I always saw that meme all over the internet and Instagram. And I just got Paramount Plus, and I thought, well, everybody's been talking about it. There's a new season. I thought, I'll give it a watch. And wow, it blew me away. I'm sad I finished watching it. There's a hole in my life now. Need to try and find another show. Such an amazing show. From writing, from directing, acting, even cinematography. It was one of the best shows I've ever watched. I'm surprised Michael C. Hall never won an Emmy for this. Never. Same with Jennifer Carpenter. Even the side characters like Angel, Joe, and Vince. They were great, perfectly written, and each season had stakes. The third season had that attorney, or was it district attorney, who Dexter helped train, but turned out he just wanted him so he could kill a rival attorney. political rival. And when Dexter says, Miguel! Like shouts. That was a good season, I thought. Season 4 was the best, with the Trinity Killer. John Lithgow, wow, what performance. I've only seen him in comedies, so it was quite surprising seeing him in a show like this. But he was by far the best villain. And, yeah. And Rita died. Rita. I'd say Rita and Deb were the two people who grounded Dexter. Because without Deb, and either way, if Deb lost Dexter, they couldn't live without one another. And in New Blood, he's, well, the passenger with him instead of his dad, Harry, foster dad. And I thought that was all right. But she played in New Blood. I'm getting off topic. Just focus on season per season, Carl. Yeah, season 4 was my favourite. Season 5. Oh, that inspirational speaker guy with Julia Stiles, I think. Yeah, that season wasn't my favourite. That season. Dexter almost got caught again because Deborah almost caught them but decided to let them go. And then in the 6th season, that's the one where Deb falls in love with Dexter. That was strange to me, but it weirdly makes sense because they've gone through everything together. She looked up to him. So technically it makes sense. It's fucked up, don't get me wrong. It's fucked up. Then at the end of the season, Deb finds out, and I honestly thought she was going to turn him in. But Deb, being the good sister, decides not to, because maybe she still has feelings for him, But yeah, it was Matt. But yeah, the end of season 6 and season 7 was strange, because Deb was going like this. She was a roller coaster. That's why I thought Deb was such a good character, because there was ebbs and flows, always constant between. She was the most tragic character, like Jesse was the most tragic character in Breaking Bad. And those characters are the ones that we relate to the most. Season 7. Oh, it was Travis Marshall, the cult guy with the church and everything. Yeah, that was it. He was the best. Well, he was second best. No, third best. Trinity, Ice Truck Killer, by Humble Butcher, for this Dexter. Maybe that number 1. Yeah, fourth. Fourth. Yeah. So season 7 was good. Deb trying to deal with the truth about Dexter, and the ending, the death of LaGuerta. That was sad because, again, she was just doing her job, innocent bystander, because anybody that got in Dexter's way, just being around Dexter, unfortunately passed away. Yeah, with Hannah as well. Hannah was introduced in season 7, I think. Wow, Deb did not like her, and me either, to be honest. The way she dealt with the loss of shooting LaGuerta and killing her. Because, she fell from grace, basically. She hit rock bottom. And it was tragic because she was she represented innocence and joy in a very dark show. So it was sad to see her dark and joyless and, not in a good place. So that was hard to watch. I'm guessing it was for everybody else. But then she tried to kill Dexter. But then they rebounded. And she dealt with it again in the ending of the original series, where Deb gets shot, and to me, Deb's been shot two times, and she's bounced back. And the fact that she didn't bounce back this time, to me, didn't sit right with me. Did not sit right at all. And again, Dexter was taught a hard lesson that everybody in his life dies because of him. And that's why he decides to go in that hurricane. And he decided to... Well, I'm guessing he wanted to die, but he survived and thought that as a second chance to stop killing and just be by himself, so he doesn't have to harm anybody again. So when we go into Dexter New Blood, 10 years has passed, hasn't killed anybody. Instead of Harry, his foster dad, he's seeing Deb as his passenger, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and she was portrayed a bit differently. She was a more angrier version of Deb, because, well, it's Dexter's consciousness of what, his guilt, basically, and what he thinks. Well, he thinks that Deb would shout at him and all that because of what he did, and she probably would, but knowing Deb, she probably would have forgiven him. Yeah. So yeah, in Dexter New Blood, we visit him 10 years later, hasn't killed anybody. Harrison is in search for him. The actor who played Harrison in Dexter New Blood, he was alright, but he always had the same expressions on his face. Like that. I still thought the series was good. The new one, Dexter New Blood. Again, did not like the ending. I'm going to spoil that, by the way. But I'm not going to get to that right now. Yeah. Hasn't killed anybody for 10 years. Moved to this small town called Iron Lake. I think it's upstate New York. I think. Well, in the state of New York, anyway. Up north. And Harrison reunites with him. Regrets him. Well, shuts him out at first because the ghost, or the spirit of Deb, persuades him, no, leave him alone, do not talk to him or let him know who you really are, because he knows what he did to Deb. So ghost Deb's like saying, no, do not, just let him go. So Dexter initially rejects him, and then he bumps into an arsehole again and decides to kill him. And that's when his inner monologue returns, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. And then he decides to... that's another thing that I don't like, because he loved Deb, and throughout this, he goes against what she says. Yes, it's not really Deb. It's what he thinks Deb would say. But still, I don't like the fact that he just, disagreed with what she said. Yeah. Lady's girlfriend. She was good. Angel made an appearance. He made 2 appearances. And I'm so pissed off that we didn't get a scene with him with Dexter and Angel. Because in the final episode, is it Julia? Dexter's girlfriend calls him up to say that he's got him in his jail cell. But there's never an interaction. Never. Good kills again, just like in the original series. And Dexter struggles with, should I tell my son who he really is? Because at the start of the show, we think Harrison is just a normal person. He's sociable, nothing like Dexter at all. But then, eventually, we see Harrison, the same quirks, same signs that Dexter has. that Dexter calls it his dark passenger. So we eventually come to notice that Harrison is basically Dexter, but a more sociable version. So it's, and yeah, and then again he doesn't take Ghost Deb's advice and basically says, well, Deb says, don't tell him, but Dexter, just tell him everything. Now, the villain in this, I thought was okay. He wasn't Trinity level. He wasn't a top tier villain throughout the series of New Blood, but he was decent. It wasn't the best season of Dexter, but it wasn't the worst. It was still good, very good. But yeah, there was obviously not much tension. The tension came about in the last 2 episodes. But yeah, it was still good. If you haven't watched, well, I hope you've watched it because I just spoiled the entire show basically. Yeah, if you haven't watched Dexter, just go watch it now because it is one of the best TV shows I've ever watched. And yeah, you should watch it. But yeah, the ending of it is basically Harrison, after finding out that Dexter kills an innocent police officer, after he tried to escape from jail, Harrison and Dexter come with peace that, well, Dexter comes to peace that Harrison's life will never be normal if Dexter doesn't die. Because Dexter himself said, he can't stop who he is. Can't stop who he is. So he comes to peace with it, and Harrison shoots him right in the heart, and Harrison just rides off in the sunset. I didn't like the ending because Dexter's dead, but I understood the ending and what made sense. But yeah, it was a bit shit out with why Dexter, because there was a part in New Blood where he says, well, his son says to him, because after just explaining what he does, and he says, oh, you're basically like Batman. You've saved thousands of people. Yeah, after Harrison realised that he's killed a innocent cop, then he goes to kill him. So, yeah. But yeah. Let me know what you guys thought of Dexter, and if you haven't seen it, please watch it. And if you haven't, why are you watching this review? I've spoiled everything for you. You stupid. Please let me know your take on Dexter in the comments. I know this is a poor quality video here, but I've just finished watching it and I had to vent about it. Yeah. Such an amazing show. I'm tempted to rewatch it right away. 4.5 out of 5. I say it's on par with Breaking Bad. My 5 favourite shows are Sopranos, Mr. Robot. Yeah, I'm putting Dexter in front of Breaking Bad. Let me know what you guys think. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next motherfucking video. Surprise, motherfucker.